welcome to Behind the Wall, center of the universe. MMTMM is in the building. You know, always number one, free to real. Let's go. Let's free to jail. I like to
Mm-hmm.
start with say today we humble ourselves to be thankful for what good we do have or what bad we don't. Gratitude protect us from being miserable and discontent. Gratitude starts when you look at people who are doing worse than you. Life's a true blessing. So, I say all that to go right into it. Uh, yeah, running the streets and the good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of surfing over, the waves, and it's a lot of detail informed. So anything that the people is curious about, go ahead and reach out to my people's page. His TikTok page and all that, and put your request in that you want to know more because this is an open book. But yeah, straight off of the yeah, so the pickle game was jumping, and just to give you some in between, as I'm climbing this, these steps and living in this, what they call the fast lane, I'm gambling, I'm strip clubs, and all that stuff goes in there. So I don't really have to say all that, but the from the pill game, it came I had a gambling problem. So gambled away, everything, started losing stuff and all that other stuff. And then, I got incarcerated.
So you had
So
a
once I got in,
so let's speak about this. So you had a gambling problem?
oh, major,
Like
major,
what you
major,
mean?
major.
Like what was you gambling
Well,
off?
okay, so I think the best thing can happen to a person is the first time they go into a casino is for them to lose. Because it puts, it gives you a icky feeling, and it might repel you away from it. Well, the first time I went to the casino before, Delaware Park was doing live tables and all that, you had to go all the way to Atlantic City, and I went there the first time playing blackjack, and I won a few hundred, won $1,000, and then so that created something in me where it's like, oh, I can always take my money and I can walk into this casino and leave out a millionaire. So all the hard-earned money that I ain't gonna say hard-earned, but yeah, hard-earned money that I won in the game, because I have idle time and the way I built my, I'm gonna call it empire, mini as it was, I was pretty much hands off. It's only hands on in the beginning. So I had certain people that I just dropped it off and then I picked it up. And that's it. It was no, corner boy or none of that no more. It was my little own, boss mode. So what it left was idle time. And so the idle time, I'm out Maryland, I'm chilling in this nice little mini mansion, as I
Mm,
called it,
right, right.
and I'm playing video games. I'm watching movies. I'm entertaining girls. But it's just nothing. It's just like the whole process is to stay out the way. You know what I mean? And so the gambling provided like, yo, you can walk in here with $5,000 and you can leave out a millionaire. It's a possibility. And so that sucked me into that world, and I did way more
Mm.
losing than I did winning.
So it's the idea of winning. What developed that? Like, what was the first trip? Like, what made you go to, I guess, to the casino for the first time? Was you just having fun? Like, what was it?
Yep, that's absolutely it. It was, so mind you, from Delaware, the closest casino that had this type of, before Delaware Park was on the map, really. That's another casino. But Atlantic, we had to drive, what is it, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to Atlantic City. So we went down there to, just party, hang out and all
Uh,
this. So
Atlantic City. Yeah.
it just,
Okay.
yeah, it was almost, oh, let's do this. And, from the streets, we shoot dice. We shoot three dice CeeLo, two types craps, and people got card games. And so we do all these in the streets,
So I
but
was
I never
already
was
gambling in
attracted.
the streets already.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like
yeah, yeah,
officially
yeah.
in a casino. Yeah.
Right. This became official. This became, you can get insurance. Because one thing about gambling on the streets, it's always that threat, a possibility of something going, way wrong. You know what I mean? The
Mm.
dice game getting shot up and, robberies and all this other stuff. So a casino provided like a shelter
Like the
where you could just
security with
gamble and be
that.
protected. Yes,
Yeah. So
security. That's it.
so 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 with the dice game, did you used to shoot dice back in the day?
Yeah, see, here and there, but it never was my forte because I was just always on alert, and I knew the bad stuff that can happen. So
Mm.
I
It was
really
like the
wasn't
risk
addicted to.
factor. It wasn't like the risk factor was like there. Like, is that something that you would
Yeah,
say?
I think the risk didn't outweigh the reward because a dice game, okay, I can leave this
Life.
dice game and walk away with 4 or 5, 6 thousand dollars. That really wasn't nothing. A casino provided life changing money. So that
Mm.
was a carrot that I was willing to chase. A dice game, okay, you got these 5 guys, you win 15, $10,000. That really wasn't worth it. So I really wasn't
And
attracted to
then
that.
and
And
then
the,
and then you can get robbed. You can lose your life for that 15. So it's just
Absolutely. And
like,
then, and who likes to lose? So if we all gambling and I take $5,000 from you, you're angry. You know what I'm saying? If
mm-hmm.
I take it from the house in the casino, it's a part of the business. So yeah, so I never like the dice game here and there. We did it with fun, but I didn't go all in until I started messing with casinos, and
Okay.
that provided like time that I would have like just the idle time. They say idle time is the devil, as they say. This what it was, and so I had all this thing, everything else moving and running. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh,
Mm.
okay, I could take some profits and I can go in here and do this, and it just always was that chase. But the house always wins, as they say.
Right, right. Okay, okay. So yeah, okay. So you was telling us about your story, how you developed the gambling you know, the gambling problem that you were saying, like, so yeah, you can continue. My bad for cutting you off.
Yeah, yeah, now you Gucci. So, yeah, so that resulted in, things end up catching up to me. So I end up getting arrested. I was wanted in Maryland and in Delaware at the same time, and U.S. Marshals caught me on Concord Ave at the Citgo, and had a couple pistols. I was actually New Year's Day. I was on my way to
Mm.
Philly. And we have a crazy tradition, like on New Year's, how they got fireworks, but in my hood they let the guns off, pop, 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 pop. So
Mm.
it's crazy and ironic, like on New Year's, like everyone's pretty much strapped. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Mm.
I ended up getting blitzed by the U.S. Marshals at the on North Side at the Citgo and locked up, going away doing a 6-year bid. And
So, so what was you wanting for in Maryland, in Delaware?
so I was wanted for in Maryland so I had a drug charge. I had a drug charge in Maryland, and I was suspect for it was a robbery. It was a robbery and a drug charge in Maryland, and then it was a robbery in Delaware, and that's what I was wanted for.
Mm. Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So, yeah, but it's crazy behind the facts of certain things. It was more or less of drug deals that went sour, and then when people play the game, they want to cry referee. So this is not innocent people. This is see, my whole thing is I keep it in the hood. You know what I mean? So innocent bystanders and all that stuff. That was a ray. So something went bad, went wrong on a drug deal, and things things went on, and they end up saying robbery and all that. So I ended up pleading out, not knowing the system, and you know, plead out. Boom. So I was locked up. So I got locked
Mm.
up, but I still was wanted in Maryland the whole time I was locked up. So I did my time down Smyrna, where I'm at now, but I never had like I had a release date, but I always had this detainer. So I wasn't eligible, and which I think was like a kink in the system because I wasn't eligible for like work release. And work release is like where it's like a halfway house. And so before they let you free all the way out, they let you work and then you come back here and you earn like more freedom and then you're out there. So because I
Mm.
had this detainer, I wasn't eligible for none of that. So I basically had to max my time out and then Maryland came and got me. So when Maryland
Mm.
came and got me, I had to go to Maryland to face that stuff. And so when I went to Maryland, I was able to post bail. And so when I post bail, I came home and I had to report to my probation officer in Delaware. And so he seen the case of me in Maryland, and he was like, "All right, well, you got this case in Maryland, so just stay out the way." So I had like an 8 o'clock curfew. Uh, we still
Mm.
clear?
Yeah, yeah, we good, we good, we good.
Oh no, that was my phone. Yeah, so I had an 8 o'clock curfew, and so bam, I was fresh out, and so it was a heavy weight on my shoulders because even though I was free, it felt like I wasn't because I still, after all this time, I still had this thing, on top of my head, like,
Mm.
and so my lawyer, I mean, my probation officer, like, yeah, you're looking at, some serious felonies out here, So I felt like I was on borrowed time when I was free.
So
So instead of
so
me,
so
okay,
what?
go ahead.
So let me cut you off. So when you did your time in Delaware, how many like how much but how many months did you do if it wasn't years?
Well, this 6 years.
6 years.
I'm sentenced
Okay.
for 7, and I got out on 6 for good behavior.
Okay, and that was in Delaware, and then Maryland came to
Yeah,
pick you up, and then that's
Maryland.
when you uh made bail, and then yeah. Okay.
Right,
All
right,
right, I got
right.
you.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah. So now that I'm, free, it's like a mixed bag. So I had a non-caring attitude because I'm like, yeah, I got this on my head. So from the gate, shit, I'm smoking. First day home, my man hit me with a QP of weed. Okay, boom, it was some Reggie. I'm like, who's dealing with Reggie? They ain't mess with Reggie. So, me and my sister, we ended up doing a two-step with that, smoking that up in there trying to sell. And then, I got introduced to the loud game.
Thank
Mm.
you for using GTL to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yes, yes, yes. Blessings, blessings.
Mhm. Yep. So we back. We live, man. So you were just saying aloud, man. So that's where we left off
Yeah,
at.
yeah. So got introduced to the basically, got a little loud pack. You know what I mean? So actually, somebody blessed me with a family member blessed me with a QP of what they call crack, green crack, that is. And see, and like this was like my first, like I always dabble. And when I say loud, let me, I talk in slang, so I'll let y'all catch up. But it's just exotic weed. Before, I'm a little older, so we got the Reggie days, and we had the Arizona, which is middies, and then you had the exotic, or So now, loud and all that, y'all know the lingo. So I got introduced to this game. So, like I said, this is, second day home, third day home. I'm right back in the mix. Normally, people crawl before they walk, and I'm just like, I'm on borrowed time. I need lawyer money for this Maryland case. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
gotta go now. So, but at the same time, I'm doing some partying and bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Striking all these girls that's neighborhood joints, trying to get up with my old joints.
Mm.
I'm
So you was tricking?
getting some. Yeah, yeah. Now that came a little late, but I think it's all tricking. I'm gonna tell you this because, like I said,
Mm.
if I ain't wifed up, you know what I'm saying? It's basically that's what it is. So yeah, but I had to glow, so it didn't cost me nothing. But yeah, I'm
Mm.
sliding through it. I was a little whore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I had this, what they say, sold my royal oats. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I went through that phase, but the whole time, you know, it's I wasn't making that much money because all I would do was I ended up messing up the first couple packs from the gate. You know what I mean? Smoking, partying, bullshit, and all that. Smoke clear, I ain't got nothing. So I finally, scratched up I think like $300 and something, and then I got me a QP that I bought myself, and so I mean a ounce,
Mm.
28 grams, and so I guess because it came like I had to like really generate this money up, I cherished this a little. I was like, I got some stuff out of my system, so what I did was I just bagged up eighths, and I just sold eighths for $45. So I will only offer 1 ounce. I will only make a profit of like probably like $80 or something like that. So I will bag up eighths and I would sell it to the hood, and everybody on Fresh Home and Mack Marsh this and doing all that. And so that was the process. But
So
they
eighty
say weed
dollars.
is a
So
yeah,
so
that's it,
so
that's
you
it.
make eighty
But it's
dollars
only like five six sales.
off of onion.
Yeah,
I mean off of an ounce.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so how long did it take for you to get that off?
See, so because it was ace, so I would sell an ounce like every day, every 2 days.
Mm.
That would be my whole thing. I would bag up the ace, and I would walk. I walk the streets. You know what I mean? Go up the Ave, Concord Ave. I got ace. I got boom, boom, and I sell it. Sometimes I sell 2 ounces. Sometimes what I mean? But I just was in that
Mm.
same turmoil. I wouldn't get back. I couldn't climb back up to that quarter pound status. So I would do this because I'm still trying, buy clothes and still trying to keep up. So this was the process. But the same way, like I said, they say weed is a gateway drug. People look at it as a gateway drug to, use it. I look at it also as a gateway drug to sell it because I'm watching all the hustlers. I'm selling to all the hustlers. So all the dope boys and all the coke boys that's moving it, they sliding up to me and they buying the eights. So I did this for the first 3 months, and I got to like really navigate and see who was who and who was the taboo, who not to deal with, who was running up and what. And I started seeing the numbers. So I had one of my old clientele, one of my old addicts used to drive up from the beach. And used to drive the beach drive from
Oh,
Rehoboth Beach. It's probably
oh, Rehoboth. Oh, you said Rehoboth
yeah,
Beach. Oh,
Rehoboth
okay.
Beach. Yeah, that's like it's what is that? Like a 45-minute drive or something like that,
So
or
from
something hour drive or
Wilmington,
something.
Delaware. Yeah,
Yeah, matter of fact, it's longer than that, right?
possibly. Yeah, it's around there. It's around that amount.
Yeah, right. So one of them reached out, Facebook and all this, and was like, "Yo, what's up, man? You can give me some D." And so they coming up from Rehoboth. So I'm like, okay, now I use what I generated and what I seen and what I put together, and I was able to. When he drives up, he will buy, a log,
So
10 bundles,
what's
10,
D as in what? Just to, you feel me, clear it up.
dope,
The
dope,
dope.
back
All
to dope.
right.
This is yeah, yeah. So
Heroin.
yeah, because this is the old clientele member that I dealt with before. So yeah, he wanted dope, heroin. We're just gonna call it what it is. But anytime you hear D, that's what I'm gonna call it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I was like, yeah, come up, I can get it. So I basically network. He come up, I take his money, go down Riverside, buy him that log of dope, which is 10 bundles or whatever. And off that transaction, I used to make $100. And so he started coming up like every 4 days, and that's the only dope I would sell. It was just to him when he come up. But it got me to navigate a little more. And so out of all that, I'm still, like I said, I'm still partying and bullshitting, but I got my eyes wide open. And I remember one of my old plugs from Riverside. So he like, we talking and drinking, and he like, yo, man, like, what's up, man? Like, cause he's still doing his two-step in the D game. He like, yo, what's up, man? When you gonna come back over? And I'm like, man, it ain't worth it. I ain't coming back over. And then so he started enticing me. So basically, I'm like, all right. And so he gave me two logs of dope, and that's 20 bundles. I don't know if they need the breakdown of all that, but
Yeah.
is that good enough slang, right?
Yeah. Nah. You good? Yeah, you good.
All right. So he give me 20 bundles, which I had to pay. What is 20 bundles at that time? I think it was only I had to pay. I can't even remember. The number changes so much. So anyway, he give me 20 of them. So I had my people that live out in like the suburb area. He like, yo, come out here with it, and he was doing his two-step. So I ended up going out there with him, and it took me like a whole week to move this. And then so I came back, I paid my man off, and he was like, damn, boy, you ain't never moved like that. I was like, yeah. So he like, man, you want some more? I'm like, man, it's too slow out there. So I thought about it, and I was like, yo, you know what? And I thought of one of my old blocks over West Side, Second and Van Buren. So I'm like, matter of fact, give me two more. So I took the two, and this time instead of going out there, out where I went before, I rode my bike over the West Side and went to this block. And mind you, no exaggeration, this is top three. I'm gonna say top three because I'm gonna be modest. This is top three in the city of hustling block. Like it generates the most. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going over there, and so because these are my old stumping grounds, I was accepted by the OGs, the young bulls. Did their homework on me. So the two logs, because this thing moves like that, was gone in probably like 4 or 5 hours. So I went and paid my man. He's like, damn, what the hell? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, well, I got 50 for you. And he was like, but look, he said, I said, man, I could move that. He was like, so we made a bet, we made a bet. If I could move that 50 in 24 hours, that he would give me a free log. So I'm like, all right. So I took it and went over there and did an all-nighter and killed him, came back, hit him. So this became me stepping back into the D game. And so I left the weed game alone, back in the D game. And so with the D game, I started generating more. And it's fast money. It's real fast money. And but I kind of stepped back into this gambling life too. So now it's even simpler because now you don't have to drive all the way to Atlantic City to gamble. You can drive right there to Delaware Park. And Delaware Park, right there, it's a green light. What's up, Well? How you feeling? Okay, okay. Yeah. So yeah. So I started generating all this, and you like I said, the D game is plentiful, but it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And one slip is a wrap.
Mm.
So
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 so yeah
so
yeah.
just to
Go
give
ahead,
my
help me out.
an idea, so if you was to get caught with, I guess, one log, how much time will you be facing, or
Well,
possibly be facing?
okay. So they moved. See, they changed the law so much. It used to be simple as you got a possession charge, and you can get a possession intent charge, and you can get a trafficking charge, and it depended on the amount. But they switched the game where it started being tiers. So you can get tier one, tier two, tier three.
Mm.
So basically with my history, if I get caught with one of them logs that don't, it's pretty much 20 or better from the gate
Mm.
because I am habitual. You know what
So
I'm saying? And
so
habitual is
if
that
you would have
three
got
strike law.
so if you would have got caught one of them logs, you would have been facing 20
Minimum.
minimum, because I mean,
Yeah.
due to your record and everything.
Yeah.
So
Due to
what
my record, due to the three strike law.
so why did you what made you go back out there? You never try to get a job or nothing?
Okay, so all right, so yeah, and you know what, and that's why I need your navigation skill because we are missing some dots. See, the first thing first was to secure my freedom, and so doing this as I jump in my game, the character that I chasing was lawyer money. You need lawyer money for this Maryland case. So everything I was doing, even though I was getting sidetracked by small finance issues, while me spending here and trying to keep up, but my what was driving force was you need this lawyer money. Lawyer want 20 bands, you know what I mean? So that was the driving force in the beginning, and that was the risk part, you know what I mean? So I chased it down, you know, with that illusion of this is why. And I
Mm.
knew a job. So, but at the same token, I am going to probation and I'm making my curfew. So I end up getting enrolled into a job school. So we went to this thing. We went to this place. Our probation made us go to a couple programs, and this one place was they was like, all right, so now you already had this job where I mean, you're gonna go to school. It's not like well, I don't know how to. It's
Mm.
basically to give you. They got connects, and so they teach you how to interview and the basic
Mm.
stuff and how you can make a resume. And then when you graduate their
Right,
class,
right,
they use their connects and you go right into a job.
right.
You know what I mean? So at the meantime, I started doing this, but this thing was like real school hours. You had to be there at 8 in the morning, and you didn't leave until 2.
Mm.
So I was doing this also. You know what I mean? So I just had one foot over here and one foot over there. But like I said, the the D game started getting lucrative, and so much so where I felt though now it was a threat. So see, in the city, the more money you get, you can't rest your neck everywhere. So
Mm.
I end up tag teaming with my mom, and we moving out in the suburbs on the low. So I wanted to get her out of the house, even though she owned the house that she owns. We in the hood, you know what I mean? And so me getting them touching the money I come touch makes me a target. So before anything happened, before I jumped like fully off the porch, I needed to move them. So basically, we moved out Newark. Once we moved out, well, Bear. Once we moved out there, it was go time. So
Mm.
now I turn all the way up, and yeah, that thing started to get like accumulate,
Right.
and
So when you moved out there, right? I guess that was when you was, I guess, the money started coming in.
yeah, this is when it was. This was all right. So all right, my bad. I'm missing one part. So one simple part. as I was doing my probation there, now mind you, I'm an open book. So I got one of my sister. You're gonna hear a lot about her, but my sister, she ratchet like I'm ratchet. You know what I mean? And so when I was doing my probation at that house, my probation officer used to come, and my sister, we used to have all these dudes from the hood and girls from the hood all in the living room, the front room, and all that. So my probation is like coming through, looking at this. You got people got the blunt guts is in the ashtrays, and so it looked like he telling me he's basically just warning me. It's like, yo, we ready to run up in that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So my first move, I end up moving with a girl. Now, not a girl that I was in a relationship with, but she was renting me a room. So this was like on Maryland Ave. So I met her and just started.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So that was my spot away from my mom and them. And then that's when I really started getting it. When I started renting a room, I had found a booster. A booster is someone that goes steal clothes from like the outlets and then sell them to you and all. So I got my gear all the way up. You know what I'm saying? But I had a discipline. I wasn't going to drive until I got my license. And
Mm.
so I started stacking my money and stacking my money. And then I ended up buying me a Lincoln MKZ. And oh my.
Thank you for using GTL facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
So yeah, man,
Yeah.
you bought the Lincoln, man. You bought the Lincoln, right? So how much was the
Yeah.
Lincoln?
Okay, so my peoples put me D. So it was these Mexicans. And what they did was they buy crash cars and they fix them up and sell them or whatever. But you have to buy for them. So he turned me onto a website. So it's an insurance website for cars that's crashed. And so you just surf on there and you pick what you want. And then my man's ended up picking it. So first I was ready to get a F-150 truck, and
Mm.
they wanted 12,000 for it. But I had the money for it, and I had the money to re-up for it. So I told my man to hold my money for re-up for it, and then I had the 12 in my pocket. But they just wanted 12 for the truck. It was going to take another at least 4 or 5 grand to fix it. So this 12, I'm like, instead of me, waiting a week or two, I said, you know what? We went to the casino, lost the whole 12, lost it
You
all.
you lost 12?
Yeah, 12.5. Matter of fact, 12,500. So I lost trying to make 12.18. End up coming away with zero. So
Damn, that's
yeah,
tough.
so
God.
yeah, so I called. I had to come back. So I went and got
Uh,
I think it was like 9,000 that I had at my man's house that I owed the plug. So we got back to the city. I grabbed the 9. I took that 9 to try to go make up for that. Lost that too.
damn. So
So
so damn. So you lost
yeah,
all
it
this
was
after
sick. This
trying to. Ah,
trying to
man.
chase. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. So trying to chase. So I end up having to start over. But that's only financially. One thing they'll tell you about, like, all right, not, in a compare a millionaire. They say it's always hard to make your first million. Once you make a million and you become a part of millionaire, you can go broke, but you still rub shoulders with all these millionaires. So the first one was the hardest to make. To make that again is not that hard because you already got the resources. So I kind of like,
Mm.
pivot that on a parallel. It was like this. So I lost all that money, but I still had a whole system that generated. And so all I needed was work. So I had something to sell. Basically, like, so I went plug shopping. So I had to, yo, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, and meet people, whatever, certain people push dots. But what I'm offering is that you can drop, such and such on me, and you'll see a return on that in 2 days. It's guaranteed almost. You know what I mean? Nothing guaranteed, but so this is all I did. So for that next, when I
Mm.
lost all that joint, when I lost all that money, I said, okay, I'm going on. So I had two phones. I had one phone was my social phone, and one phone was my trap phone. So I turned my social phone off. I said, I'm going off. Boom. No more haircuts. I used to get a haircut every Thursday. Had a routine. Like, I was living I cut everything off. And I said, it was, a matter of fact, this was in November. And I said, yo, I'm going hard. No, this was in the late November, the December. But I said, I'm going hard to the end to New Year's. and I ain't spending nothing. And I just put my head down and I went. And I'm talking about my hair wolfing, trapping, and I ran it all the way back up. And so that's when I bought the Lincoln. So
Mm.
yeah, so I
Okay.
bought the Lincoln. The Lincoln, you pick it out on the site. You pick it out on the site. The Lincoln only costs 5,000. No, yeah, $5,000 for the Lincoln. And it was a this was in 2013, and it was a 2011 MKZ. So my man's picked it out for me. I'm talking about the sound system in it alone was $8,000. So I'm like,
Mm.
oh, okay. So picked it out, and then we sent it to the place. So the Mexicans had fixed it up. So now I gotta keep paying them. Smoke clear, that joint cost me damn near $17,000 all the way out. But the
Mm.
beautiful part was it didn't cost me 17 straight from the rip. So
Mm.
I was able to pay it off in like 2 weeks because he was like, all right, we need 1,800 for this piece. We need, you know what I mean? And then I paid him the labor at the end. So that's what it amount to. And so now I'm, rolling in the Lincoln. And I did it the right way because I waited till I got my license. So I had my license. As soon as I got my license, I grabbed the Lincoln. So everything is looking good, and I'm living with this girl. But mind you, like I said, this girl is not my girl or none of that. None of that. It was all, but I made the mistake of smashing her because she wanted it, and I'm a male and I'm horny. And she didn't look bad, so I ended up hitting her. So she started getting attached. But she seen me climb. She was the first one to see my growth from me coming to with nothing to me having bands. I remember I had like the water jars that you got like
Yeah,
you
like
put
the
in
water fountain, like I mean not the water fountain, but the that you flip
the
upside
water
down.
cooler joint.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I had one of
water
that. I would
condenser.
just every time I came in the house, I would put all my ones and my change. I put all that in there every time. Then I started putting fives in there, and I would throw hundreds and twenties. So I had this
Mm.
jug filled, and that was just like extra credit, like toys. She used to go in there and sneak money out of her. I ain't even know. So anyway, I started building up, and we had a fight. But before we had a fight, I had it planned, and that's when my mom and me planned, and we moved out to Newark. That's when we went to Newark. So once we went to Newark,
Mm.
I was already established. And
Okay.
then, yeah, so and then but the whole time I'm going to the school. So the school is beautiful. I'm going to the school. Everything is everything. I end up graduating from the school. You know what I'm saying? So they put me with a job, and I started working at a job called Eagle. So everything was smooth. In the
Okay.
middle of all this, I didn't even get a lawyer. I went to go to my case review in Maryland. They gave me a public defender. So I'm talking to the public defender. He asked me the name of somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's my Cody. He's saying, yeah, it says here he agrees to testify against you. I'm like, wow. He said, well, hold on. I got a motion that I'm putting in. He put a motion in that they shouldn't have made me wait 6, 7 years to handle that case. They were supposed to come and extradite me and handle it, and then they could have sent me back. Do you know they threw the whole case out? Threw the whole
Well,
case out. So
they threw the whole
yeah.
case up. So how much was you facing with that
Oh,
case?
it's man, I can't even put no numbers on it. I
Uh.
can't even because it was. I mean, they call it clearing the books. And clearing the books is any crime that happened in a certain area. Sometimes they lay it on one person. This is what they call clearing the books. So they was clearing the books on me for I think 3 different situations where they were saying I was a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And the statute of limitation is the reason why I got off. And I'm telling you, I don't know nothing about 2 of the situations. I'm like, what the heck is that? But they clear the books on me because they give you all these charges so you can say, all right, I'll take a plea to this one, and they get what they want. So anyway,
Mm. So let me. All
yeah,
right.
I got that. I got that tossed out.
Okay. Okay. You got to toss up. So all right. So wow. Okay. So let me ask you this. Throughout all this, when did you meet Kay?
Ah, good question. Okay, so all right, so amongst this party and bullshitting, right? I had my team, so I had a small circle. I'm not gonna say no names, but it was, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
my man Q, shout out to my man Bean. So this was my small circle. Shout out to rest in peace H, rest in peace Lonnie. This was my small circle, and like so we didn't party in Delaware and stuff like that. We always go to Philly and Jersey and New York and all that to do. We just never like we outgrown this state. So at this time, all right. So the first time, my man's Beans used to say he used to find little spots of Philly, and we love strip clubs. That was our thing, like strip clubs. And he was like, "Yo, we gonna go here." And then we used to just be in the slums and like, the hood is somewhere and just check this little hole in the wall strip club. And he used to always line them up. And so it was this one strip club he went to. We signed up. We went there. It was called Piccadilly's, and it was in South Philly. And so we went in there, and so I ended up bagging a stripper. My man's bagging a stripper. So I ended up talking to the stripper all that. I came and seen her one time in Philly, but she was young, dumb. She was out of my league. So I ended up forgetting about her. So we went up there like a month later, and we slid into this place, and it was this bartender. There's two bars. She was in the second bar, and I'm talking about, I'm looking at her. Oh my God, fell straight in love. I'm talking about, she was beautiful. But my man's, shout out to Q, my man seen her too. And he on her. So mind you, I'm gonna tell you about my man's. He up, like he ain't do no tick. So he got a couple whips. He got his own company. He got a crib. Like, so he up. I'm just, I got the wheel and I got, some trap joint, but I don't own no land. So I ain't, I ain't really hit. But I had a different approach. So from the gate, he on her. He like, yo, man, boom, boom. So I'm like, I'm on her. You know what I mean? So we called it it basically was a competition. So we made basically it was like, yo, best man win. Whoever bags it first, the next man got to fall back. So we agree, gentlemen's bet. So now we go to the bar. So he flashy, he, talking this and all that. So I'm settled. I asked her, let me get a shot of Hennessy and a Corona. It's a little hole in the wall bar, so it only came up to like $8, $8 to $12. I give her $100 bill. Boom, she come bring me the change. I'm like, nah, keep that. She's like, oh, well, thank you. So boom, the day go on, drink that shot. I'm like, let me get another round. She give another round, give another $100 bill. Man, I do that like 5 different times. So she, on the low with it though. So I just keep giving her $100 bills. But my man's, he dancing. He like, yo, oh my God, you so beautiful. Man, I want to take you. He said, yo, can I take you to dinner? All this other stuff. So he asked that question. So if he bags her, I'm out. So she looks and she was like, well, I got a girl. Maybe, we can go out on the double. And so that's what I slid. And I'm like, who your girl for? Because I don't want her. You know what I'm saying? So she started laughing. So he tried to get her number. And then he asked, that was the moment right there. She was like, nah, I don't give out my number. You know what I mean? All that. So he ended up following her on. We ended all changed the Instagram stuff. So we leave. So she only works 2 days. She works on Sundays and she works on Monday. This was a Sunday. So we leave, but she's in my mind. So when we get back to the city and all that stuff like that, the next day pop off. So I'm riding around with my man H, and I already have a plan. I done told H all about him. And just to give you a visual, y'all see the pictures a little later, and she hates when I do this. But I'm telling H, I'm like, yo, she look like Beyonce, dog. I'm telling you, like, he like, man, you capping. I'm like, dog, I'm telling you, she look like B. So he's like, man, I want to see. I'm like, yo, we gonna go up there tonight. So my man's Q called me like, yo, what we doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just fall back. He like, yeah, all right. So the whole time I'm on my way up Philly. So I pull up, pull straight up to the bar, come in. So she sees me. She comes around the bar this time. Oh my God, Abel, give me a hug. She was like, where's your she's like, where's your boy at? And then I just smirked. She was like she knew for some reason. She was like, you cheating or something. And so I never understood that to this day. If she knew something, she probably felt it. So anyway, I introduced my man, and he was the perfect wingman. So we sitting at the bar, and I do the same thing. Give me my Hennessy, give me my shot of Corona, and I give her $100 bill. So she got our full attention. She's serving everybody else, but she coming back, and we chopping it up. So we had a trip that we set for my man's Bean's birthday. We was going to Vegas that Friday. And so mind you, I got to see my PO on Mondays. So we was going to go to Vegas and party all weekend and fly back on Sunday for me to make my PO. So, but my man H wasn't going. It was just me, my Beans, and Q. So we talking and stuff, and it came up about Vegas, and she was like, oh, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, you guys, she's telling us different spots. You got to go to the rooftop, and you got boom, boom. So she's saying all this stuff. So my man's asked her, and was like, yo, shoot. He said, what, you want to go to Vegas? He said, Mac, why don't you take her to Vegas? And then she looked at me. I look at her. I'm like, shit, what, you want to go to Vegas? She was like, damn right. I was like, you going to Vegas? So we laughed it off and all that. So that night, she gave me her number. So the next morning, I wake up, I call Beans. I'm like, so we already had our stuff booked. Everything was booked. I'm like, yo, book a flight to Vegas with us. I'm gonna give you the name. He like, dog, you know how much that's gonna cost? Like, I was like, man, I don't care, book it. He's like, dog, you taking sand to a beach? I'm like, dog, just book it. He like, man, who is it? I said, yo, man, just chill, just book it. So I let him in. I said, look, don't tell nobody. I said, it's the bartender. He said, shut the. I said, yo, it's the bartender. I said, just chill, don't tell Q. He was like, all right. So he smirked. He ain't say nothing. So
You have 1 minute remaining.
I text her, good morning. It's like 8 in the morning. I text her, good morning. She texts me back, good morning. I text her, hey, yo, you got to send me your name and your date of birth for the ticket. She texts me back with this stuff. I text it to Beans. Beans, get the ticket. Cost like $720 or something. Text me back with the confirmation. I text her the confirmation. My phone ring. Hello? What's that? I said, that's the ticket to Vegas. He said, I can't go to Vegas with you. I don't even know you.
Facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yo, boy.
Yo, boy.
Yeah, y'all got me rambling too, man. I'm all straight out and boom,
Nah, we right on.
We good?
Yeah, we right on track, man. We right on track, man. We in Newark. You feel me? You talk about when you first met Kay, and now we're at when you booked her the flight. So you know what I mean?
Okay.
We right on track,
Okay.
man.
Okay. We vibing. So yeah. So the call was, I can't go to Vegas. I don't even know you. So I'm like, girl, do you see that confirmation? I just paid like almost $1 million for your ticket. You said you wanted to go. She said, boy, I thought you was playing. I said, oh, I said, yo. I said, one thing you're going to learn about me, man, what I say is law. I said, it ain't nothing in between that. So I said, look, this is what we're going to do. I said, the trip ain't until Friday. I said, you got all week. This was Tuesday. I said, you got all week to learn me. You know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. I said, yeah, we can start with lunch this afternoon. She's like, oh, my God, boy, you crazy. Okay. So that was it. So now we do the lunch thing. So I pour the lunch. Oh my God, I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, she's just so bad. I'm all in. Now, mind you, it is a little side note because like officially, if y'all caught the first episode that I tell you, you know, at this age, I'm like, what, 36, 35, 37,
Oh yeah,
something
so
like
you're
that.
like 36, 30. Okay.
Well,
So
matter of fact, no, I'm 34. Yeah, I'm 30. Shit, I'm like 32, 33.
because
I
this
don't know.
is like the
It all
first
runs concurrent,
time.
but I'm
This is like
probably
the
30.
first time that we're really like, you know what I mean? Because we
First,
understand that that you did time and stuff, but this is
right,
like the first time that we heard about, you know what I mean, that intimate interaction. But yeah, go ahead.
right. So that's what I was saying. So basically, I never did a girlfriend before. And mind you,
Mm.
don't get it twisted. You know, like damn, a name like Mac. I just always, it was just something in me that just always shot straight. And so I didn't want the commitment stuff, but I would tell them what it is, and I wouldn't have to lie to kick it. So
Mm.
while other people would tell bros, yeah, I love you, and it's only you, and wife them up just to, get what they want, I would just, put it on display. It's like, look, man, mutual, beneficial. We both, you know what I mean? But I ain't looking for that. And
Mm.
I actually preferred females with I actually preferred females that had men. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I actually had preferred females that already had their dudes and let me be the side dude.
Mm.
So we
So
can
hold
have
on, you
fun and you
prefer
can
being
go
a
back with
side
them.
dude? You prefer being a side
Oh,
dude?
I loved it.
Why?
That was my thing. That was my thing because it was like you get the benefits, you get the cake without having
Right.
to really, clean it up.
Oh
So
man. Real
yeah,
toxic.
so and like I said, and like I was all for the strippers. I respected all of them. I probably paid some tuitions and all that other stuff
Mm.
because it was no strings attached to a lot of stuff. So with all that in play, it was right before this. It was one girl that I've known since that I met in '99, and when I met her, she had a dude. Dude was in college and all. She was from out in Newark. Pretty little thing. She reminded me of Aaliyah. Met her. She had a dude.
Everybody
So we
love
used to
Aaliyah.
we used to party and bullshit on the side. Never tagged her, But then she was like a little money hungry, you know what I mean? And she never had a job. She's used to a person taking care of her. So
Mm.
I was cool with that. But then she'll quit her man and be like, yo, I'm done with him. What's up? And
Mm.
that was like no to me. So I will
Oh
always
yeah.
ghost her, and I will ghost her over 3 different times. So I know this girl since '99, and when I came out again, we linked up again and we started again. Now, mind you, she got 2 kids now and all this, and she got a dude that she live in.
Mm.
But it was always a pull to me to her, and I think one of the pull was because I never struck it. You know what I'm saying? Without saying the lingo, you already get it. So
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. So, you, can you relate to that?
What? Just like I guess. What would you say?
Just
Like you
having
was
it,
playing it too. What?
just having like a girl that you was involved with, but you never had sex with her.
Yeah,
You
it
know what
was
I mean?
just
And then
like
so
you.
y'all might have parted ways, but it's
Yeah.
like you never accomplished something, so it's always a pull to her. Like you can't get her.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that happened. I had I remember this girl back in high school. I went to when I went to AI whatever. And yeah, man, like I had a prom date or whatever. And then I end up dropping my prom date to go pick her up type shit.
mm, mm.
Because it
Oh
was
my,
yeah,
she's a
afterwards,
dog.
afterwards.
Well, what with the prom date wasn't given out,
Well, the prom day I
or
wasn't
you just
really
wanted that strange,
she.
as they say.
Nah. It was yeah, like nah. Prom day was cool. You feel me? She was pretty too. You feel me? But it was just like the other one. I been had my mic. You feel me? Like my mind. I had my mind both, but the other one was just more. You
The
feel me?
other one had that
And then
pull. See,
and then I had the option. It was the option right there. Like I was like I had. She was like, oh yeah, I'm free, type shit. So it was like yeah, you can come get me.
yeah. See,
So then I was just
that
like ah.
that's it. That's it. And that girl had that pull on me. So this is 2013, and I met her in '99. And because the situation never developed, I never, enjoyed them fruits. So it was always a pull. And so, mind you, I was dealing with her, but she was dealing with her man at the same time. So anyway, right before her, I tried it with her. And this was the first thing. My whole thing is right. I'm a free agent until I sign on. Once I sign on, I'm not with the cheating. I'm just not. And see,
Mm,
people, I hear a lot of young boys be hollering loyalty, and they a hunter, and they real and all this. So I asked them a question. They be like, yeah, it's crew love. I'm real, gang and all that. So I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's loyalty, death before the sun. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you got a girl? He's like, yeah, I got a girl. I'm like, yeah, you cheat on her? I'm like, yeah. So how you can't be loyal to the one that you share a bed with and share a
mm.
kid with? You know what I'm saying? But you saying loyal to the streets. So my
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing was
crazy.
not to even sign on for that. Like I'm not signing
Mm,
on unless I'm always committed. And I always understood that. And that's one of the reasons why I never had a girl. And with this one chick, I was trying it, but it was complicated because she had a dude that she always went home to. So I end up popping her and getting that out of my system, and then I start seeing like the flaws and all that in there, and then she was just as stubborn as I was. So I basically like one morning we had a fight, and one morning we always text each other good morning in the morning, and I rolled over and I didn't text her, and I was gonna see if she texted me, and if she would have texted me, it would have been all gravy. Didn't text me. A day turned to two, two turned to three, three turned to four. Fifth day, I met Kay at that bar, and I never looked back. And the next time,
mm.
now let me catch up. Let me speed up. So now, back to the thing. So we go on a date with her. We chatting, we eating, we talking, we vibing. Boom, I leave her. She
Oh,
called me up again.
so this is the lunch. This is the lunch.
Yeah, this is the lunch. We
Okay.
back to the lunch. I want to catch. I just wanted to.
So
That
this is when
parallel
you
story
book
ran parallel with this.
right. So this is after you booked the what you call it, and then you gave her like,
Yeah,
okay, this is because you just met her at this point, and then you booked the flight for Vegas to go to Vegas at the end of the week, and you let her know like she was shocked because she thought it was crazy, and you let her know you have until the end of this week to get to know me,
right,
basically type of. So
right,
so then you offered a lunch date that same day. So
right,
y'all ended up going
right.
out.
So
Okay, that same
yep.
day.
So this is Tuesday. During the lunch date, man, we vibing and everything is everything. And it's crazy. And just to impress her. Now I ain't gonna say impress her, but I was we this is what we do. We men we get dressed, we get fly, we do this for the women. So she was talking and stuff, and like I said, so I was getting to learn her. She go to beauty school. Man, she went to the Philadelphia School of Art. You know what I mean? She's in cosmetology, like all this other stuff. So I'm learning her and stuff. So, but she had some hood stuff in her. So something had came up. She was talking to one of her peoples, and she was like, yeah, she had brought it up. Her peoples had some pills for sale. You know what I'm saying? So I don't indulge, but it's always a market. I knew that market. So the number that she said with this bull, it was one of them numbers that don't be on the market like that. So I'm like, cool. And just to like finesse, I'm like, all right, I got 1,500. So I spent 15. I told her set it up. And so boom, right there at the table, I gave her the 1,500. Bam. So she, boom, we split ways. So I go and doing my thing. I'm shopping. I'm doing all this other stuff. She called me up. She's like, oh my God, this is crazy. She was like, yo, this is crazy. She said, I just talked to my mom. She's like, what are you doing? You going to across the country with a stranger? I said, yeah, I ain't a stranger no more. We just had lunch. She's laughing. She's like,
Hmm.
you crazy. So we going back and forth with this. So on Wednesday, no, on Thursday, we have a no Wednesday. The next day, we have a dinner date. I meet her son. You know what I mean? So I'm playing in the park with her son and all this other stuff like that. So he chopping it. He cool. He like 3 years old. I think 3 or 4 years old, whatever that. So he take a liking to me. So I know you get in with the kid, you get in with the moms. So anyway, we move on. We gonna fast forward. So my man's end up calling me Q, the competition bull. So he hit me up. He like, oh, who are you going to Vegas with? And so everyone's thinking it is the other chick because I was gonna go steady with her, the one who had the man. But we on the outs right now. So he's like, "You taking such and such today?" And I'm like, "Nah, it ain't her." He's like, "Man, you taking once again? You taking sand to a beach? Nah, nah, nah. Just chill, just chill." So boom. So he called me back. He like, "Yo, I know who it is." And I'm like, "Who?" He like, "Dog, it's the bartender." I said, "Who?" He said the bartender, blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, I said, nigga, I don't even know her. How the hell am I gonna get her to go to Vegas? He's like, oh shit. He was like, I was ready to say. He said, man, if you got that, I was gonna bow down to you. I was like, yo, boy, you crazy. So I'm laughing. I hang up the phone. Boom. So mind you, it's that final day. It's that Thursday. It's Thursday night. So Thursday, we go ahead and that's the Friday leave on Friday. No, it's Friday. So we go away to Friday. We do a couple dates in between. She filling my fin. She's signing on to the contract. So now we get the packing and all that stuff. So black folks running late. So I'm going through the mall. I'm buying all this stuff and all this stuff for Vegas and all this stuff. So we running late. So I'm ready to leave my car with my man H. So we driving up. We drive up to the airport. So my man's Beans and Q was already at the airport. So we pull up, and I got you had your phone hooked up to the round surround phone. So my man's Beans calling. He like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, dog, where you at? I'm like, yo, we ready to pull up now. So he like, yo, she with you? And then like, mind you, we on speakerphone. So I'm like, dog, I'm here now. So she look at me all crazy like, so I'm like, dog, I'm here now. Hang up the phone. She look at me like, yo, what do you mean by that? Like, what type of weird shit y'all on? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, no. So she look at me. She got attitude. She boom. She got her little stiletto. She walking through the joint. She mad. So I'm like, ah, man. So I get all the stuff. We go to the joint. So down the walkway, we see my mans and them. They dressed in their little flops and their, basketball comfortable, airwear. And they coming up. So I see my man's Q. He's squinting. He looking this nigga mouth open. So me and her walking, and then so he looking. He said, "Yo." He said, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "Hey, Q." You know what I mean? He's just looking at me. I'm back of my head. So I whispered in his ear as I give him that. I said, "Nigga, bow down, nigga."
Yo.
Hey, yo, he lost his mind. So now we go to the bar. We go Chickies and Pete's. Go to the bar right in the airport. So we couple shots. So I explained to her, I'm like, nah, it wasn't about nothing. They just, was wondering why I was bringing sand to a beach. So we got loose. We cool. We board the plane. So mind you, I didn't know. I had at the end I was collecting all this money. So a couple more people that owed me money. I was leaving everything, my operation, in the hands of my man H. Rest in peace, H. I was leaving my operation in his hands. So, but I wanted to take some money to Vegas. So a couple people that owed me money, I'm like, I'm grabbing that on that last day. So, but I didn't count it, and I got cargo pants on, so I got basically money in all my pockets. So I'm asking her as we going up to the, to go through the metal detector. I'm like, yo, wait, hold on. How much money can you actually move? Like, you know what I mean, before it's against the law? And then she was like, she looked at me like, I'm like, She was like, I don't know, 10,000, I don't know. So I was kind of nervous. So you know how they give you the bin to put your belt and stuff in there?
Yeah, yep.
Man, I start going in my pockets, pulling out all this wad. I'm talking about sloppy, ain't nothing neat. It's straight off the. And so I fill up the bin with all this money to the.
You have 1 minute remaining.
It slides through. So I had to grab it, and it was even worse trying to put it back in as you getting dressed and all this other stuff. The TSA lady looking at me all crazy and all that. I'm like, hey, it's Vegas. And then when we walking down the joint, and then the lady say, hey, you dropped something. I turn around, it's $100 bill on the ground. Pick that joint up, put it in my pocket. Boom, we get on the flight. So now we on the flight. Why are we on this flight? And we sitting there, and she go in her purse. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? She was like, why do I have some Molly, a piece of crystal Molly in the bottom of my purse? I said, what? Never touched it. Had never had Molly before. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, you want to take some? I'm like, fuck it. We in Vegas. Man, I took a piece of Molly. I gave my man Q one, and my beans don't mess with nothing. That was a big mistake. We are anteed up on this damn flight to Vegas. Oh my goodness, it was torture.
Mm.
Thank you for using GTL.
Oh man. So yeah, if y'all y'all liking it, y'all loving the content, please like, share, you know what I mean? Get the word out. You feel me? If y'all missed previous episodes, tune in to the Podbean, Spotify, YouTube. No Breaks Go Live, man. I appreciate y'all. And we out of here. You hear me?